Hello, everyone. This is Elease A. Wiggins. I hope that you are all happy, healthy, and safe. In my previous message, I talked about moving forward. But today's message, I'm going to come from a different place. On Friday nights, I facilitate a group called Growing Through It. And I bring together people who have experienced some type of adversity in their lives, but they still want to continue to press forward, keep it moving. But they just don't know how, and they didn't have the right resources. So last night, I had a gentleman on the line who was, teaching us how to be a lady and what we should look for in a gentleman, not just a man, a lady. And the stories that I heard last night started to break my heart because a lot of the women on the line were brokenhearted and they didn't believe in love anymore. And, one of the women was saying that she had been in abusive relationship after abusive relationship, and she no longer believes in love. So let me read to you an excerpt from my book, A Farewell to Welfare. It states, psychological abuse can be tricky because it's not as obvious as physical or sexual abuse. In fact, psychological abuse is so subtle that the abuser never has to lay a hand on their victims because they have complete control over their mind. So a lot of people are in or were in psychologically abusive relationships and they do not know it. So I can definitely speak for myself when I can say I remember being a professor at LaGuardia Community College, and I'm going to advocate for my students. I'm trying to find all of the information and resources, and I happened to pick up a brochure. And I said, okay, great, because one of my students said she was a victim of domestic violence. And I'm going to get the information to give to her. And when I read the back of the brochure, it says, you may be in an abusive relationship if you, and then there were bullet points. And out of the 6 bullet points, I was experiencing 4 of them in my own life. So imagine I was helping someone not knowing I needed the help. Let that one sink in. So here's the deal. How is it that, you're in this psychologically abusive relationship? Well, the Bible does say, train a child up in the way they should go, and when they get older, they shall not depart from it. So a lot of us have experienced psychological abuse in our childhood and we didn't know it. We just deemed it as normal. This is the way life is. This is the way things happen, especially if we experienced it at the critical ages. Now, the critical age is before 5 years old. So that means that you've grown up with this longer and you think that this is normal and it has become a part of your personality. So there are 2 characteristics, but it's a lot in the middle. But these are the 2 extreme characteristics of children who are now adults that were raised in psychologically abusive homes. 1, the very, very angry person. They pop off. They're ready to spaz out. Everything irritates them. Everything makes them mad. They have, in a sense, no self-control and they're easily angered. This is a sign that you were abused. You grew up in an abusive home. The other side, extremely passive. You kind of just let everything go by. You disassociate with reality, with your feelings. You don't really feel any way about anything. Oh, just let it happen. I don't want to stir anything up, because as a child, you learn to disassociate yourself with the abuse. Here's what I'm saying to you today. Love is real. God is love. You no longer have to experience this no more. Abuse no longer has to be your reality. You can choose to walk away. You no longer have to endure this anymore. So what happens is it eventually debilitates your mind and it crushes your soul. It debilitates your mind because you're not able to think. 1 minute you feel this way, next minute you feel this way. In terms of your soul, your heart is broken. You can't really express creativity. You can't be who God called you to be because you're hurting and you're suffering. And this is why you're probably suffering with depression and anxiety, because your soul is crushed. So this is Elease A. Wiggins, and I want to leave you with this message. It's from 1 Corinthians, a very familiar scripture. It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It does not keep record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. So if you're not experiencing this in your relationship right now, and no relationship is perfect, but like when I had the 6 bullet points and it was 4 out of 6, if it's more negative than it is positive, it's time to let this go. So this is Elease A. Wiggins. I love you. I hope this message touches you in a place and it blesses you.